Hi everyone. I wanted to go over how to plan a kindergarten unit in helpful as you're getting ready for your April block. I want to first start with the rationale. I have posted everything on eClass under the kindergarten planning that you'll find in the Peel eClass 3000, 4000 EDPR. Step one is the rationale. As you think about the learning centers that you're doing in kindergarten, I want to show you how to plan a unit for kindergarten that you could also use in any grade all the way up to grade 12 to show that planning for kindergarten is not that different than planning for all grades. So step two, you want to look at the kindergarten curriculum. Page 306 to 318, that's where you find all the overall overall expectations that you're going to plan the unit by. And you're going to think about the specific expectations, and a lot of the times you're doing specific expectations that you're doing in each center that's going to lead the student up to completing the unit. So in thinking of the specific expectations as being each center, I've given you some resources to look at. The first one is the kindergarten tracking. And what it does is it talks about personal and social development, belonging, etc. And it's got a whole tracking document with all the overall curricula mentioned many times under each heading, under language, under mathematics. So it really helps you see how you're teaching the overall with a specific. And I have attached that in the EDPR 4000 Peel as well, so you've got that to look at, which I think is very, very helpful. And then I've also included, as you think about what you're teaching in the centers to get them to the overall expectation, the Ontario Early Years Policy. That was written in 2013, and that was so that you get the framework of what kindergarten is all about. It's all like Learning for All, very much like what we're teaching all the way up to grade 12. So it's an excellent framework to continue to know as you go through your teaching. The other piece that's really a good framework is the Early Learning for Every Child, because in there it tells you the developmental pieces of students all the way from 0 to 6 years of age. So sometimes in your overall or your specific expectations, you have to teach them how to cut because they still don't know how to use scissors. So go back and look at all the information there as well, because it really helps you with what specific expectations are you doing at each center. And then the last one is your Growing Success Kindergarten Addendum, which I have also attached for you to look at. The nice thing about teaching kindergarten is the beginning for all the learning that the students all the way through the school. So whatever grade level you get when you are a teacher, you will have a good background. So after you've figured out the overall and the specific expectations you're going to be teaching, you want to know what is a culminating task. If you've got 12 centers, you might have 2 culminating tasks, half and half. If you have less than that, you might have 1 culminating task. And you're doing the success criteria and the learning goal from the unit. So then what becomes your backward design? Your backward design becomes the centers that you have set up with the specific expectations so the students can learn those and you can assess the overall. And in doing that, you're really creating lessons, because when you go to that center, there's a minds on consolidation, there's an action, and you're probably sitting and assessing the student at the same time. And all the centers lead to the culminating task. And then that's your backward design. That is your unit plan. Now you're taking those backward designs, which I put here for you to see, what you're expected to do in the backward design of each lesson, specific expectation, or each center, learning goal, success criteria, assessment strategy, and how you're going to record it, lesson, how you're going to have the center set up for they understand it with the minds on the action, consolidation, debrief. So you do your jot notes all the way down. If you've got 12 centers, you do the 12 centers for your unit. Then what you do is you flesh out 3 of those centers because they are actually lesson plans. And then you have your 3 lesson plans ready. You might want to have more of the lesson plans ready for your mentor teacher if you're starting that unit with all the centers being open at the same time. I hope that is helpful. Talk to you soon. Thank you.